Howdy gang. Welcome back to Pentiment. We just dug up a grave and found some kind of weird ritual scepter covered in blood. So we believe this is the murder weapon, just in time, because we're gonna eat and then we have to talk to the investigator, Archdeacon, whatever he's called. I'm pretty sure it's the Archdeacon. That's not good, but, you know, I think that we have enough evidence to save Piero here. That is good. I don't think it's been 2 weeks, but we've been a little over a week because Christmas happened, so I got some new things. I like new things. I've got a stream deck, which y'all can notice specifically, so I can, like, do stuff like turn off my webcam or mute just chat and stuff without minimizing. That's pretty sick. Pretty sick. I can also use it as like a soundboard, so like, you know, nobody ever tips or follows or whatever because they're not watching, but you know, the sound effects I have that I never use, I can just trigger them whenever I want. You know? Flame. And you know, it's like kind of useful for just being on the desktop too, even outside of streaming. I can like make a quick link to open up YouTube real quick, or have like a board for emojis, so I don't have to open up the emoji board. I can make like quick macros for text and stuff. Like, it's cool. Got a screenshot button. I can trigger recording without streaming. Like, lots of good stuff in here. Lots of good stuff. Anyways. We're just eating dinner. We promised the bakers to eat with them. We have no one else we really need to eat with urgently, so... Bless you, Andreas. Are you hungry? Have dinner with us. How do you ask? I'd love to. Lovely. I'll lay out a fine spread for us. It's been so long since we've had a guest who isn't Father Thomas. You'll be joining us today, too. Whoa! Bless us, O Lord, and these are gifts which you are about to receive from your bounty. Through Christ our Lord. Amen. Oh, man. Kid gets a pretzel for dinner. Oh, we all got pretzels, goddamn. Cheese and pretzels. On some kind of soup. If it ain't broccoli cheddar, I don't want it. This looks like some kind of pea soup, maybe. It's just predominantly green. Thank you for joining us, Father Thomas. It is an honor for you to have us at your table. Please, Ulrich, there's no need to stand on ceremony. You know I enjoy sharing a meal with you and your family. Especially when Gret serves your rye. God bless you, Father. You're too kind. How has Peter been lately, Andreas? Bad mood, nothing unusual for him. Most of the peasants are in bad mood. Between the miller and the abbot's taxes, they're in a hard place. More than a few of the families are having difficulty paying their bills. I can't offer them credit, but I worry about the town's future when times are so hard for them. The Gertners are struggling to pay their taxes since the abbot raised them. It's made more difficult because the abbot won't allow them to pay in kind with their crops. Between the abbot's taxes and Leonard's fees at the mill, they're struggling. Pottage. Just a pot of stuff. Start with that pretzel. If I can give them some relief, I must provide it joyfully. Truly you are blessed more in giving than receiving. You have a kind heart, Ulrich, perhaps too kind, though I do love that about you. Should this really be your concern, Ulrich? The peasants are unhappy with their taxes or the miller's fee. They can propose a change. True, they could try advocating for themselves. They might speak as Christian, surely they can find common ground. No, in any case, is the miller not entitled to recompense for his labors? Is the abbot not entitled to taxes as the rightful lord of the land? This is the way it has always been and will always be. Leonard takes more than is fair. His behavior is not Christ-like. And you will be the one to judge him, Ulrich Alban. Will you judge the abbot as well? I guess these guys make a lot more money than everyone else, because one, it's an artisan product, and two, they're buying the flour after it's already been milled. They're not trying to get the miller to buy their shit. Now, extending credit in a time of crisis, potentially scummy. He plays it off like it's Christian. I'm sure it is well-intentioned, but these people could also get into immense debt that they can never hope to repay. With this guy instead. This is no matter to tease about. The peasants are suffering. The causes are plain to see. Your concern is admirable, Ulrich, but take care how you speak about this. May I suggest that you speak to him on the peasant's behalf? Don't make accusations, but share your concerns. I have not found him to be an unreasonable man. With all respect, Father, I've been dealing with Leonard Miller and his father for over 20 years. I know the character of the Miller's men. Kindness and reason are not in their nature. God's love is within all of us, Ulrich, even Leonard Miller. Andreas, don't you think Ulrich should try reasoning with him? Perhaps Leonard would be better served by a verse from Ecclesiastes. Sure. Just quote the Bible, you can't refute that. He who loves silver shall never have enough. He who loves wealth is never satisfied with its increase. This is also vanity. Thank you. The scriptures always have the answers if we know where to look. That's not expectedly a sentiment I had in mind. Oh, did I mention that Sister Matilda came by today to buy our bread for the sisters? She had a dark cloud over her. Probably worried for the future of the Abbey. Is the Abbey in danger? I had no idea. Have faith, Gret. The Abbey will endure as it always has. Sister Matilda seems so strong. I don't think I've seen her like this before. Do you speak to her often? Yes, when she comes by to buy bread, the Abbey can make some of their own, but we provide the rest. She walks with that Bohemian monk, Brother Wolfslav. He makes her laugh. Oh, my heart, that's lovely. Not appropriate. But Father, surely friendship between brother and sister united in Christ is alright, isn't it? Not if they swore celibacy, no. Hey, it's just friendship, bro. Troubling, perhaps I should speak to Father Gertner about it. Come on, come on. Just because you swore to celibacy and would fuck the first woman who ever dared to be your friend doesn't mean this guy is too. Oh, that was an excellent meal. Thank you so much for inviting me into your home. Of course, Father. We're always honored to have you. As you say, I suppose. Well, I should get back to the counter. Your ladies will be by for their bread soon. Thank you for a seat at your table. It was our pleasure. On the hour of judgment. Go to the chapter house to meet with the Archdeacon. I was curious about the spinning bee, but I feel like I'm gonna learn more gossip than anything about the church. Like, the church is isolated. Alright, what are you doing here? Margaret, Master Mauler. Yes, it's me, sister. You think Brother Pierre really murdered the Baron? No, of course not. Oh, then why did Father Abbot have him put in the cellar? Father Abbot is afraid what will happen if we can't figure out who the killer really is. Do you think the devil could appear here in Kirisu? The devil could appear to Christ at Gethsemane. He could appear to us anywhere. I didn't see the devil, but I think I smelled his odor. The night before the Baron was killed, I woke before the Matins and smelled something in our dormitory. It was strange. Moss and sulfur mixed with frankincense and roses. The ritual they were doing. It moved through the room. I wanted to scream, but I was too frightened, and then it was gone. I'm ashamed I didn't cry out, but I didn't know what to do. Any of the other sisters smell it? I don't know, but I think they were all asleep. Thank you, Sister Margaret. Bless you, Master Mauler. Make a pit stop at the dormitory, yeah? Someone just walked through with an incense bowl. Don't clean up the blood. Please state your name for records. Andreas Mahler, journeyman artist from Nuremberg. What is an artist doing in Kirisu Abbey? Abby still has some commissions from wealthy patrons. I need money before we return to Nuremberg. Arnold, please write that down. I think we're ready to begin. Of course, your reverence. Now then, Master Muller, what was your relation to Ren's Baron's Rothvogel? I only knew him for a day, but we were on friendly terms. Do you feel you had a sense of him as a person? Yes, your reverence. Well, how would you characterize him? Would I call him a fine man? I mean, he's definitely a lover of art and knowledge, but nobleman for all the good and ill that goes along with that title. Perhaps. Confident overbearing, you see anything he wants. I'm not sure about that. Stick with this. That was the opinion of Father Gertners and Lady Salamia as well. They believe everyone regarded him with the same warmth. No, your reverence, clearly some locals had low love for the Baron. As unfortunate as it is, such knowledge may be a boon to us at the moment. The Baron Rothvogel was murdered here in this very room. Someone did it. Father Gertners believes this was one of his monks, Brother Piero. I have met Brother Piero and questioned him at length. While it seems unlikely that a man of his age and temperance could murder the Baron, he was discovered in flagrant delicto. Technically discovered a corpus delicacy, but was not caught in flagrant delicto. Body of the crime, sometimes literal, often figurative, the principle that must be proven to establish crime has occurred. Yeah, he wasn't caught doing it, nobody witnessed it, they just found him first and he had a knife in his hand. Master Muller, I am not interested in your clarifications, technical or otherwise, on matters of Latin or law. Oh, it's important, damn you. If you wish to advocate on behalf of Brother Piero, I suggest shutting your mouth until I ask you a question. Piero had reasons to resent the Baron, the loss of his work, the insistence on discussing writings of the troublemaker from Wittenberg. And as for his age and infirmity, I believe have read many cases in which a man of modest strength succumbs to the temptations of the devil. Once seized by a devilish fever, the poor sinner gains infernal power that allows him to inflict grievous wounds, sometimes fatal. Sounds like you have accused people who have been framed before. What I'm saying is, in spite of the curious circumstances, Brother Piero is the most plausible perpetrator of this most vile act. I disagree completely. You only think he's the most plausible because he's the only guy we arrested. I understand that you were on friendly terms with Brother Piero. You also interact with the Baron both in town and the Abbey. Did you witness anything to suggest someone else could have murdered Baron Rothvogel? I shouldn't say anything I don't need to. So, he was robbed. He did get in an argument with Lucky, but I'm not sure it was him. One of the nuns did have an incident. The Abbey Friar Fernand's parents was behaving suspiciously on the day of the Baron's arrival. He may have had a motive. He's the most likely suspect, in my opinion. Like, where the fuck did that blood come from? Oh, let's not throw anyone else under the bus. Has an extraordinary claim, Endris. The abbot speaks highly of the prior and oversees both you and Brother Pierre's work, does he not? Yes, but Prior Ferent's role in the Scriptorium has very little bearing on his motive. Extraordinary claim requires extraordinary evidence for me to take it seriously. Why should I take the word of an artist over a respected officer of this abbey? I can provide evidence of Prior Ferent's motive. Please do so. Baron Rothwell and Prior Ferentz were exchanging letters while performing a magical ritual during the Baron's visit. Do you have proof of this? I have an imprint of a letter that the Prior wrote to the Baron. I told him immaterial gossip, oh no. And the Prior mentions he will not perform the ritual for the Baron, even if the Baron does follow through on a threat to implicate him to Inquisitors in Innsbruck. An invocation of necromancy is a serious matter. The Prior's position would have been in peril, possibly even his life. How do you believe Prior Ferentz would have killed the Baron? I pray you will not say it was a magical ritual. I found silver along the prize for Prior Ferentz. It has dried blood on it. Silver rod. Likely a magical tool of some sorts, but it is of some size and weight appropriate for the head wound that the Baron received. How did you come to possess this item? It's not telling about the grave digging. When Prior Ferentz is concerned, brethren delivered it to my keeping. I would prefer to keep its name out of the records. Highly unusual, Master Muller, but I will heed your request. Is there anything else to say about the Prior? No, your reverence. Oh, I think that we should just point out that the head wound is what killed him and not the stab wound. Pretty important. Very well. Who else may want to see the Baron dead? Blood on the shovel. She's a woman, so she's at an inherent disadvantage. She wouldn't have been walking around the dormitory here. I think it has to have been one of the brothers. Martin's just a thief. He didn't hurt anyone. Lucky, I doubt it. I mean, he doesn't want to talk about it because it's about his freaking dead kids. Like, I don't think it could have been Matilda. Everybody seems to really trust her. And it doesn't seem plausible that his sister would have been over here. They have no one else who'd have caused the harm to Baron, your reverence. Very well. Are you aware of anything else that might shed light on this case? His brother Florian told you about the note he found in the Baron's clothing. Yes, brother Florian explained how he came to find it and told me its contents. Master Archdeacon has entered his testimony in our register. I don't understand the English. Who is the innocent? It's not clear to me either, Your Reverence. You believe the murderer wrote it? Whoever wrote it was a talented scribe. I understand Kirisu has two, the elderly brother Edic and younger brother Guy. To be frank, Your Reverence, neither man has the skill to write in this way. There's something else about it too. The style is just different. It's unlike Edic and Guy's writing, unlike mine. Something about the way the first and second strokes me at A and G. Yes, well, whether the particulars, it seems, will remain a mystery that stands apart from the commissions of murder. Unfortunately, there is more to tell. I found more notes. Notes written in the same hand on the same type of parchment to those who had a motive to kill the Baron. It is deeply troubling, but again, beyond the bounds of my investigation. In any case, I thank you for bringing it to my attention. Of course, Your Reverence. Till next time. Till then. Looks like that's chapter 2. Final day of Law and Judgment. Andreas, I didn't think you were coming to this. I didn't think I was either. I suppose I wanted to see how I was going to do wrong. Why, I didn't want to miss this. It was the prior of the Abbey, if you can believe it. Did you ever talk with him in the Abbey, Andreas? I accused him of necromancy. That seems like the pretty big out. You missed the trial, Andreas. The Archdeacon read all of the charges and found him guilty. I worked with him almost every day, Clara. I didn't know who had murdered him. He had a murderer in him. I don't think Ference did it. The Archdeacon got it wrong. Yeah, I didn't know he had a murderer in him. Oh, they wanted you to think they're so pious, but all they're here to do is slowly drain the life out of this town. Calm down, Peter. Here comes the procession. Oh, he was some kind of warlock, even if he wasn't the murderer, so, you know, fuck him. Did I miss anything? No, you're fine. Andreas. Otto. Algrim's speaking Latin. I didn't do this, God knows, isn't it? Algrim's this can't be happening, this can't be happening. Just keep saying something in Latin, bro. Just gonna do it right in the square, no ceremony. Running like a chicken, crying like a woman. Silence, silence. Arnold. I order the executioner to carry out his duty. I warrant him peace and safe conduct, whatever may befall him. I did this. My God, my God. Hold still. No, no, no! Oh boy. That was not clean. You have executed judgment on law required. For that, I thank God and my master who taught me such art. Bro, that was not artful. I know this is your doing, Andreas. You know, it was only a matter of time before Ference was caught for his interest. Yes, but that was for me to deal with. There is no future for the Scriptorum now without him. Is that really what you're concerned about? He killed a man. You are no longer welcome at Kirisu, Andreas Mahler. I will send your final payment to the Gertners. May you have a long, successful career in Nuremberg, and may you never travel this way again. Out of his favor. I feel like I may have fucked up. I don't know. Is Act 3? No, it's Act 1. Yeah, out of favor. Andreas, has the time come for you to leave us? I'm afraid so, Brother Piero. This farewell will have to be breathed. Father Gertnet made it clear I was no longer welcome at Kirisu. I pray that time will soften Father Abbott's heart. I hope eventually he realizes you were only trying to help me. This is sad parting, but inevitable. I had hoped you would stay a bit longer. But the world needs you more than Kirisu does. You have grown beyond this old abbey and become a master in your own right. I don't know about that. Should I have just let a woman die for the sake of this abbey? She's the only one who has, like, somewhat solid motive and evidence. You know, sometimes the decision is bigger than you, you know? Just trying to save my friend. I didn't care about either of these people. But now I lost my fucking job. I will miss you, my son. As I will you. Come, your masterpiece is complete. May I see it one last time before you go. Please, I value your assessment. The opinion of an old monk matters little. All the same, I'm excited to see it finish at last. The masterpiece, truly worthy of the word. It doesn't look like he changed it much. The people in the scene, though, those are the family he's been staying with. And it appears he took my advice to heart. And what advice is that? Hey, he drew himself in there, too. To put yourself into the work, not just to interpret our artist's work, but to transform it into something true. And it shows the world as it is, as you have seen it, even if it's not what we may want to see it. No, it is not my place to say so. I am proud of you, Andreas. What's this? Another one of those notes. Scrap of parchment. Do not return here. A warning. Perhaps from the abbot. Did he blackmail everyone involved? So it seems that whoever I accused would have been wrong. That's very unfortunate. Whose hand is this? It doesn't look like Brother Edict's or Brother Guy's. Flora and I found a similar note in the Baron's clothing. I found more notes delivered to others while I was investigating. They must have been written by someone who knew the dark secret of town as Abbey. They tugged at those secrets to kill the Baron like someone pulling at the threads that had been bruised in the past, buried in the past. Ah, frightening thought, but who would do such a thing? God knows. He does, and I hope this love can still the wickedness in the heart of whoever wrote this. Do not trouble yourself overly about it. Your future lies outside these walls. I hope that you'll have time to visit me once or twice in your travels before the Lord takes me. Sure, we'll see each other again. Assuming Father Gertners doesn't forbid it. You must have faith that better days lie ahead for us. God bless you, Endris Smaller. God bless your guidance until later. You alright, Master Endris? What? A lot older now. Are you alright, Master Endris? Yes, thank you, I was just remembering him. Trying to, anyway. And it doesn't come easily anymore. Oh, would you like me to leave you alone? No, Casper, it's unnecessary. There's nothing else to be done about it now. It's too late. Like so many things. Endris Smaller, I never expected to see your face here again. Have you been in Nuremberg for these last 7 years? No. Nuremberg for a few years, but I freed some lucrative commissions abroad. More character building? Reference cultural touchstones from Prague, Budapest, Hungary, England. Reference cultural touchstones from London, parts of Rome, France. Really in France right now. Reference cultural touchstones from Paris, Tours, and Dijon, Aragon. Spanish and bits of Arabic and reference cultural touchstones of Barcelona and Valencia. I think that these two might have the most use. Okay, there are Roman ruins, and Rome is in Italy, but it's like right next to Spain. I think that territory was contested before. So, like, you know, it's been transferred. And these are Roman ruins here. It could be something interesting. Spanish, France, you know, there's similar languages. Let's go with Aragon. I spent a few years in Aragon. They're quite fond of Netherlandish painters, and my style was, well, close enough. Netherlandish, I can say Dutch. Are they still conducting those ghastly inquisitions there? Across the peninsula, yes, though less so in Aragon. Why? I find them cruel. The Jews were ejected from Dijon as well, an ugly part of our history. Surprised you care at all. Well, I'm not about to leap into a fire to save anyone, but I don't think it's right what's happened to them. In spite of your expensive travels and success, you're still not welcome at Kirisu. The abbot hasn't forgotten what happened. 7 years isn't all that long. I simply want to pay my respects to an old friend. Surely you understand that. I understand why Father Abbot expelled you from the Abbey. What were you expecting? A hero's welcome? I did get him killed. I'll tell him I'll be staying at the land house in town for a night or two before moving on. The golden hand. I'll tell him, but I can't imagine he'll care. Why is he so rude? God bless you. Be off. Before Revolution. This is Act 2. It's weird. Monks seem unhappy to see you, Master Andreas. Why is the Abbot so angry with you? Towards the end of my stay in Tassing, there was a murder at Kirsu Abbey. The nobleman, Father Gertners, panicked and accused my friend, Brother Piero, for committing the crime. I helped convince the investigating Archdeacon that another monk was responsible for prior Ferenc. He was executed for the crime. You got someone killed? It was that or letting an innocent man die. Not much of a choice. Still, I would have been scared. Why didn't you mention it before? Well, I suppose it must have been a hard situation about if the Abbot is still this mad at you. I had to make some difficult choices. Maybe they're wrong ones. I have to live with that. Why did we come here if you're not welcome? I wanted to pay respects to Brother Piero. And to be honest, I'm not looking forward to returning to Nuremberg. This commission, it's an obscene vanity piece under a pretext of a religious scene. My patrons just want to celebrate themselves and their wealth. I dread each new commission more than the last. Every step I take towards home is agonizing. But Master, you're famous and rich. Your work is wonderful. When I saw your altar piece in Nuremberg, I begged my father to help me become your apprentice. I don't understand how you could accomplish all of that and you'd have to be unhappy. I thought I wanted to be like my father, like my brothers. I thought that was my dream. Once I wanted this life so much that it consumed me at every waking thought. I don't know if I've changed, or if what I wanted was never really real. Maybe I've been a fool this whole time. All life is and it hurts to be better for you, Casper. Learn from my mistakes, alright? Alright, yes, Master Andreas. Shouldn't be burning you with such dark thoughts, Casper. Let's visit my old friend Claus. It has been too long. As you like, Master Endris. The room is sparse compared to what I'm used to. So, I'm tempted to look up who the actual murderer was, but I think that we might still encounter them later in the story. Because someone wrote us an extra note. It was probably the Abbot. Could have been someone else entirely, but, you know, someone orchestrated that whole thing, and we might have to deal with another murder or something similar. Maybe blackmail. So, I don't want to spoil it for myself. I feel bad about getting a bad ending there. It makes me feel like it's a bad ending, because there's a little devil pitchfork here. You know, maybe the abbot's a bad man. Maybe being out of his favor is a good thing. Never got to spin the wool. Never did that. And, like, there's a lot of different things he could have done. Looks like a little girl could have stole my hat for some reason. Maybe that can still happen. Maybe this can still happen too if Endris is alive. He's the blacksmith. Haven't had a Christmas feast yet. Discover the imposter. Amogus. Could have had Wolfsov let me into the cellar somehow. And that might have given me some important information. Maybe I wouldn't have been out of favor if I got this to happen. I don't know. Yeah. Looks like there's a lot of different ways that could have gone. I felt like I did all that I could. But, goddamn. Even just looking at the achievements to cast doubt. The thing about these kinds of games of art decisions, they usually all come to the same ending or something very similar, so it couldn't have diverged too much, could it? Hello, Andreas. How are you enjoying your stay? Been wonderful, Hannah. Thank you. Oh, good. Yeah, you're in the best room we have. I'm glad it's your liking. Is there anything else? No, thank you. Until later. Oh, later then. Nice building. Billion. Good day, Master Mauler. Nico. Ah, Master Mauler is it hello and welcome to the Golden Hand. I am Nico Berger. I own this land house and run it with my wife, Hannah, and her son, Killian. I guess a land house is an inn. I believe my boy helped you to your room. Is it to your liking? It's lovely, thank you. I'm glad to hear it. I'm glad to hear it. When you arrived in town, one of the locals said you lived here a few years back. Yes, I worked at the Abbey as an artist. Ah, I see. I heard that you were involved in solving a murder. Yes, out of necessity, the wrong man is being accused of a crime, a friend of mine. I heard it was the prior at the Abbey. The Baron was sacrificing some diabolical spell that the brother was casting. I don't know about that, but... No, I wasn't casting a spell. The Baron was a sacrifice. Where'd you hear that? Oh, bits and pieces the people have said here and there. Sounds like a story has changed in the last 7 years. And no offense, Master Mauler, I just find it to be an interesting story. Ah, a story. It's something that happens. 2 people died. Of course. Again, I meant no offense. Well, I'll leave you to your day. Later. Till then. Samuel. Hello, Andreas. This place new. Golden Hand's the relic they got at the shrine there. Their wolves have used time in almost all the Abbey's cooking, maybe because it grows so easily here. Just do it! You know if it's the right thing. I don't understand why this is so hard for you. Otto, I'm scared. It's dangerous to cross the Abbey. Why would you prefer the alternative? I don't need to do that, Otto. I understand. I'm just saying. Andreas Muller. Good to see you again, old friend. Otto, you're looking well. There's my apprentice, Casper Ziegler, from Salzburg. Salisbury steak. Good day. Ah, that answers that. I thought you might be your son. You don't grow them that fast, even in Nuremberg. Grow fast enough around here. Ava and I just had our first little Otto. Thought we'd call him Utz. Utz. And it's like a cute slang on Otto, but it's Utz. Congratulations to you both, that's wonderful news. Thank you, it's been a trial with Dad gone, but Clara and Ursula help out where they can. Sorry to hear about your father. That's life, and at least he's with the Lord now. Forgive his aches and pains. I know Ava wrote to you about my father's death, Andreas. Why didn't you write back? Sorry, things got busy after I left Tassing. Sorry to interrupt, but I should be heading back. Like, I remember your face, but I can't place it. Is that the little thief boy? We're in the same hat, and asshole. Martin Bauer. Oh, don't trouble yourself, it's me, Martin, remember? Grown. Been known to happen with children. As much as I love, whiling away the hours in the meadow, I have a lot to attend to. Otto, I see you at the meeting later. Andreas, until later. Someone saw Martin, he was in this meadow. Yeah, running away with some fucking stolen jewels. He's quite well dressed, honestly, but I don't know. He's not acting like a douche, like maybe he grew up a bit. His sneezing seemed to hate being here. And now he loves it. Strange. Probably because he's rich. Strange, or are you just confused? Am I confused? Are you? Well then. Pain my ass. Can't believe how much Martin's changed. True, he's like the prodigal son, took over his father's farm after France died. He's been a much better husband to Brigitte and provider for Kat. Prince died, how's little wolf doing? Prince Hart gave out. Local legend says he was screaming at Kat until he dropped dead. Not that I want anyone to suffer, but few were sad to see the man go. And Lil Wolf, he died a few months ago after you left. I think Martin still feels guilty about it. Did Martin kill them both? Suspicious. I remember the child was like their favorite, you know, he loved them. Or the grandparents did at least. But then it sounds like he was maybe a bit of an asshole, maybe an abusive father, which is why he raised a douchey son. He's at peace now with them gone. Something happening in town? You picked an interesting time to visit. Come by the town commons in a while. I think you'll be interested to hear what I have to say. Didn't realize you were in the business of giving speeches. I'll attend. Sounds good. Until later, then. And he peddled a senior foil that grows so easily, some consider it a weed. Oh, this is the meadow. That's a whole new building. Hey, Schloo. Stunning collection of wildflowers that grow so plentifully in the meadow. I think Claus is the printer. So this house should have been just to the left of the inn. There's an achievement for touching a certain number of plants. They're growing something different in the gardens up here. Ah, shit. Like achievements. I think my my Steam Rewind thing said I got like somewhere over 10,000 this year. A lot less than last year, but still significantly more than any of my other friends had. Brother Wolsef uses time in almost all of the Abby's cooking meats because it grows so easily here. And you know, a big chunk of this year was spent playing like stuff on my PS5. So, you know, think of all the other achievements I got there. So, speaking of the PlayStation, you know, it's the sale time. I tried to buy some games around. Bullshit is a lot of Sony's first-party games are not on sale for their winter sale. They say they like don't want to devalue the work of their teams or something. So like, you know, if it was worth $60 when it came out, it's worth $60 now, right? But you can get it for free if you're subscribed to PS Plus. That's the thing. So if you look at Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, the game came out in like 2023, I think, so like 2 years ago. Still full price. But if you look at it on Steam, when it came out sometime this year, it's half off. Now, like, you tell me you couldn't match your sale price on PC? Like, shit. I don't want to play it on PC. I could, but that game needs a solid state, and I'd rather just use the console that it was, like, tailor-made for. There's some things that are, like, somewhat third-party that are still exclusive that I would consider playing. Like, I have Returnal on PC. And it works very well, but, like, I haven't heard good things about The Last of Us. I think Spider-Man runs alright. God of War runs fine. Point is, if it's an exclusive, I'm gonna try to play it on the original thing unless I have a reason otherwise. Like Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is like on sale. I could have picked it up, but I'm waiting for it on PC because I played integrate on PC. It might even be like the integrated version when it comes out later too. Would be a good thing. Anyways, I don't know, I don't want to tell some of you, like, eat a dick, but come on, at least, like, try and match your sales across storefronts. Now, a lot of stores will do that now. If you go to, like, Walmart and tell them that something's cheaper at Target, they'll match the price. Andreas, I heard you were back in Tassing. God bless you. God bless you, Father Thomas. It is good to see you again. Hopefully this visit will be less eventful than your last. Tassing has enough going on as it is. We have our bonfire for St. John's Eve tomorrow night. People will get up with all sorts of mischief. And that's why my job is to hear their confessions in the days that follow. Not to mention the grumbling the peasants are making. That's just talk, brother. No need to scare or guess with such things. I'm sure if there is trouble, Master Mahler will be the first to stick his nose in it. Why are you always such a prick? You have no appreciation for how privileged your life is. It's easy enough for you to come and go. Why don't you have to live with the consequences? After Ference was executed, Father Abbot made Matthew the new prior. Ference may have been annoying, but Matthew was even worse. Thanks for that. It would have been better for everyone if you had simply allowed Brother Piero to die. After all, he only had a few years left anyways. Blessed are those who hunger for thirst for righteousness, they will be satisfied. Save the scripture for someone who cares. I just wanted you to know how much destruction you left in your wake. Friends, there's no need for such ire. Forgive me, Father Thomas. I let my passions get the better of me. Besides, it's not even why I came down here. I actually came to speak to you on the Abbot's behalf, Endris. Father Gertners would like to invite you to come to the library tomorrow morning if you're interested in purchasing some of our books. Oh, wonderful, fantastic. Wait a minute. Are things so bad that the Abbot has to sell Kirisu's greatest treasures? Abbey needs the money more than it needs stained parchment. No one values these books anymore except perhaps you. The library is not quite ready yet, as it does not see much use. If you could come by tomorrow morning, Mother Illuminata can show you what's available. Mother Illuminata? Yes, Mother Cecilia passed a few years ago. Oh, I thought me and Illuminata had a thing going. Now she's a sworn mother. Oh, I suppose Illuminati knows the library better than anyone. Yes, I can wait. Calm yourself. There'll be time enough for excitement tomorrow. And Andreas, I apologize for my harsh words before. It was rash. Brother Piero was a pious man and a skilled artist. We missed him. Appreciate you saying that. I mean too. Didn't seem like he was being facetious. Excellent. I'm so glad you were able to work things out. Oh, Father Thomas, do you have a moment to speak inside the church? Yes, I think so. Why? Private matter? Of course, of course. Till tomorrow. God bless you, Andreas. Suck his dick. Another thing I'm like upset that wasn't on sale is a Stellar Blade. Kinda promised one of my work friends that I would stream it for him eventually because he begged and demanded, and you know, nobody's ever demanded that I play something on here, so anyways, I said I'd pick it up on sale because like it doesn't look bad, it looks competent, just I don't want to pay $70 for it. Like another Souls-like thing, and I don't think the environments look very interesting. I'm sure it's very good. All right, I'm probably gonna love it, but wasn't on sale. And I have a feeling that's gonna be one of those things. Like I might have to pick it up on PC when it comes soon. He's gonna be disappointed that I'm not ready to do it after this, because I told him it would be probably in December, assuming it was on sale, assuming it won Game of the Year. But didn't. Astrobot did. And Astrobot went on sale, even though it's only been out for a few months. And what else is on sale after a few months? Freaking Dragon Age Veilguard, like 35% off. Doesn't look like a bad game. People got some issues with it, but you know, I'd almost buy it at that price. I'll still wait even longer, because again, I'm Dragon Aged out, but you know. It's to the Druckers. Magdalene's. Bah. Pet the kitty. House looks different from before, doesn't it? Why is there a bed downstairs? Andreas? Sorry, Claus, I know it's been a long time. 7 years and nothing from my friend Andreas. First Bert, then Marie just after Magdalene was born. Oh shit, his wife died. My wife always thought highly of you. I can't believe you didn't write back after I told you they had passed. So this is like Shawnee's grandmother, maybe? Or is that just the woman that she was staying with? Like, she had her bed on the first floor, so she couldn't bring any men home upstairs. He must have his daughter sleeping upstairs. My wife always thought highly of you. I can't believe you didn't write back until you passed. I'm sorry, I should have written. Yes, you should have. Too late for that now, though. Was he even home, man? Sounds like I've been away. Doing shit, trying to get away from home. Boopy Bobo. Oh, hello. She likes you. Your business seems to have grown. What are you printing? The 12 articles. They were originally written by Swabian peasants who were demanding changes from their lords. Freedom from serfdom, freedom to hunt and use words of God as intended, freedom from compulsory labor. So, I'm talking like liberty, democracy, free market. End of feudalism, free speech. Abolition of the inheritance tax, fair appraisal of rent, return of property, common use and ownership. Bavaria isn't Swabia, but their complaints are just as valid for the peasants of Tassing. Oh, so this is Otto's cause. It's caught a year already, The abbot has been squeezing the peasants for years. Now he's squeezing the townsfolk, and we're pushing back. The cause is righteous, Endris. You haven't seen the Gertners lately. You should visit them. And Otto, had you print these? Yes, why? Well, I didn't think he could read. He can't, but he's just about everyone else in town can. He speaks, I print. Just trying to do my part, I suppose. I'm sorry, I'm still not in the mood for this late reunion. Come back for dinner tomorrow. You should go to the Commons to hear what Otto has to say. It's worth hearing. Of course, I'll see you then. Be good while we're gone, Magdalens. Will you be good? Gob gob garoo! Skipped food. It's the meetings in the Commons. So many people. Everyone listen! We all know why we're here. Nothing I'm going to say will be a surprise. Nothing I'm going to say hasn't already been spoken behind closed doors, whispered to your neighbors. Nothing I'm going to say is untruthful, so it's time we started saying it openly. Year after year, the Abbey has found new ways for tax the peasants. Piece by piece, the Abbey has taken away our rights to use God's forest to support our families. Law after law has heaped upon us restrictions on how we can pay rent, limits on where we can move, who can wed, and now the death tax, which once claimed only our best animal and garments, takes half our estate. No consideration for widows, no consideration for children. What about the town's council, the rat house? Surely that is a sign that the abbot wishes to share his power, so listen to our grievances. You have a good heart, Ulrich. You always want to see you invest in people. But no. The council is a way for the abbot to divide us, to pit favored few against the many. This is not charity, no, only greed and desperation drive Father Gertnet. You'd think that if the abbot could, he'd steal a dead man's soul from heaven itself. And when we protested, what did Father Gertnet do? He locked the shrine of St. Maurice. He won't allow the people of this town, the farmers of this land, to pray before the relic. Now, when we most need the intercession of our saint, the abbot has shut us out. Father Gertnet's actions aren't just, they aren't Christian. We've endured this abuse for too long. It's time we let the abbot know we won't take it anymore. Ooh, right. Hear ye hear. Yes. This has to stop. Let's fix this. Stop. This is foolish. Soldiers are already patrolling nearby towns. If you push against the abbey, you'll incur the Duke's wrath. You could get the town razed and everyone killed. Hannah's right. The Duke's a powerful force in Bavaria. You're playing a dangerous game, Otto. You lot are no match for trained soldiers. If you don't relent, you'll grow into dust like Swabian peasants. Be ground into dust. We could always grind you up instead of Leonard. You might be right if there's these soldiers about. I can't read all this. Stand for what's right. God is on our side. Don't be shy. Speak up if you have cause. We won't be overrun. The peasants of Salzburg were able to take the city and have their cause heard. If people can get the Archbishop of Salzburg to listen to them, then we can do the same with the abbots. Master Andreas, do you think my family in Salzburg is alright? I don't know. Find out. Alright. Enough is enough. We can't stand by while the abbot continues treating us poorly. People all over Swabia are taking back their God-given rights. Why shouldn't we do the same? A righteous cause. Martin's right. We deserve better. We can do this. Well spoken, Martin. Everyone ought to consider what he said. Martin has proven dependable these last few years. But if the words of men can't persuade you, perhaps a sign from greater power will. The abbot may have locked us out of the same shrine, but God has shown me that he is with us. I think that's all I should say for now. Thank you for coming. Good day, Endris. Clara, it's been too long. Lovely to see you. Hello, Andreas. I'm surprised to see you after your long absence in Tassing. At this rate, we thought we'd never see you again. I was on the road back to Nuremberg, actually, and I wondered how you all were getting on. Oh, things are not good at all. We're in the middle of a strange season. Ah, you found the Gertners. Your speech was very rousing, Otto. I swear that you get better each time. Well, Duke doesn't catch word of this, Otto. The town could suffer for it. We're past the point of caring, Mahler. If you were in our position, you'd understand that. You're right, it's not my place to judge, I'm just concerned. It's appreciated, but we know the risk. Otto, did you really see a sign from God? Is that true? Tell me the truth. It is, Andreas, I swear. Come talk to me later, I'll tell you what I can, alright? Anyway, Andreas, you and yours should come by the house for supper. We'd be delighted to have you. Be wonderful, we'll be there, Clara. Eat. Let's talk to our friend Endris. Andreas, you're back in Tassing. 2 days, I want to pay respects to Brother Piero. Oh yes, Brother Piero, what talent, what color, I'm sorry, Andreas. He's a sweet old man, Talent? I talk to him sometimes on my breaks at the Abbey. Surprised Piero Ferenc didn't give you an earful. Well, he did before the unpleasantness. I'm sure you know it shook up things at the Abbey for a while. Brother Guy made it clear I wasn't welcome in Kirisu when I arrived, so yes. For what it's worth, you're still welcome in Tassing anyway. Matthew's prior now. Still strict, but a bit quieter about it. Matthew has always struck me as quite pious. Maybe it's a change for the best. Isn't Matthew the guy with the glasses? No, you know, he's not very pious to me. Who's to say we don't have to live by the rule? And again, we all have to live under Father Gertners' rule, which is probably worse. Oh, are you in with the peasants, Endris? Well, of course, Gertners' been running them into the ground. On top of that, we can't even use the forest anymore. Any of us used to be able to go fishing in there, not anymore. How far are you gonna take this? Oh, I don't know. Don't ask me. I'm not leading the thing. I trust in Otto and the peasants to do too. He's a good man. The whole town knows it, even Leonard, though he wouldn't admit it. Say, Andreas, how's the married life been treating you? After you left here and returned to Nuremberg, I take it you were married. I was. Marriage is legal requirement to become a recognized master craftsman. Ah, yes, of course, these obligations seldom reach a small town like others. I imagine it would apply to me as well if I got far enough. But married life still has treated you well. I still have not found anyone. I fear it never is going to happen. Really? Not a single person's caught your eye? Well, when I was in Innsbruck a few years ago, I saw a really pretty girl in the market selling painted pots. I think about her sometimes, maybe more than as Christian. Somebody beat off to her. Well, you need to go back to Innsbruck and find that pretty girl. It's the only person, like, if you're this old, your hair's gray, bruv. It's a sign. Oh, well, really? Life's too short to spend dreaming about the loves you could have had, trust me. You seem to feel strongly about this, Andreas. But it sounds foolish, juvenile, you might say. I may not have found true love, but that doesn't mean you can't. Are you not happy with your life, Andreas? I'm not, but this isn't about me, it's about you. Well, if I ever have the chance to go back to Innsbruck, maybe I will. Hee hee. There's something to look forward to after all. I thank you, Andreas. You're a man of inspiration. A pleasure. Until later, Endris. Until later, then. Now's the time. It looks... Okay, hour and a half. Got another hour, basically. Before my voice starts to give out, you know how it be. It's like this thing still floods regularly. Peter. King George. Ursula. So I was a different child on the woman's back. Hello? Hello, Ursula, do you remember me? No, should I? For real, bitch? I told you stories in the middle of the night. You used to poke me in the foot with a stick to wake me up. I did. You did stay in the room upstairs. I kind of remember that. I think you told me a story once. Mom and Dad sometimes talk about you. They said you went away for more training. What was that like? Well, while I was in Aragon, I learned a new technique to make colors that... Not about the Endris, about your travels. Alright. In the forest of Aragon, I saw a giant. What? They call him, Basarjaru. Ooh. Ooh. Where's the finger? I know about Basarjaru. He was 9 feet tall. His beard as long as Big Jorg's whole body. 1 foot is like yours and mine, but the size of a whole pig. The other is a tree trunk. He whistles to shepherds when storms are coming so they can get their flocks to safety. How'd you see him? I was in the... Bro, why are the sheets covered in shit? Like, what the fuck happened up there? I wonder if she's sick. I was in the forest and he spied on me because I was eating bread, which everyone knows is Berserju's favorite food. I wish I could see a giant someday. Andreas, can I ask you something? Of course. You know the stories about PETA in the Wild Hunt? Percha? Yeah, Perchta. Pagan goddess of the Alps associated with animals and spinning wool. It is invoked by some Christians in Austria, Switzerland, Bavaria, and Swabia. Wild hunt, supernatural cavalcade of spirits and fiends that may cause destruction or important war. Other casts, yeah, we know the Wild Hunt. We played The Witcher. Ghost Riders in the sky. Although I didn't learn about them until we lived here. Why? Are they bad? Bad how? Well, my grandpa tells me things about Perchta and spirits, its charms. And the old woman Otilia, she talks about them too. And says these words I don't understand. She told me they're part of the old ways or something. So why do you think they're bad? Well, my dad says I shouldn't listen to any of it. He said it's nonsense and that Father Thomas would be mad. He said only tolerate it with old people because they're too stuck in their ways. I don't want to get in trouble, but Grandpa says if I don't learn the old ways, they'll just be forgotten. So are they bad? They're not bad, but the stories could get you in trouble. I think that's the fairest advice I can give a child. Maybe you shouldn't learn about the old ways. Really? Well, they're just stories, of course, but... I'm sorry, forget I said anything. Well, later. I guess she's gotta learn the old ways. Hello, old Peter. Eh? Ugh. Oh, it's you, the artist from a few years ago. Yes, Andreas Muller. I'm surprised you remember me. Everyone seems to think my mind is going, but it's still sharp as a nail. Endris makes nails, you know, good man. Right. Are you staying with my family again? No, I'm staying at the Golden Hand. Those misers charge us just as much as the pilgrims for a drink, but won't support my son and his cause. That new abbot must have gone to them, the bastard. Why do you hate the abbot so much? Everything went to shit after Father Matthias died. That man, God rest his soul, never increased taxes. He might have asked for the tithe and harder witnesses, but we're happy to help the abbey then. Ugh. We could take from the forest as we needed. Brother Florian used to help us in our illness. Let us follow in the ways of our forefathers. A true Christian, that old abbot. And Father Gertners promised he would keep everything between the abbey and us peasants the same. And we were foolish enough to believe him. Ugh. At first, I refused to allow Florian to come down anymore. Taxes got higher, he stopped allowing us to pay in goods and livestock. Now he only takes coin, as though we can come by enough of that in a year to pay our rents alone. The bastard doesn't give a damn about us, not how Father Matthias did. I didn't realize how bad restrictions were for you. No, of course you don't. Not your kind, not with your fancy hats and tassels and furs. You don't need to see troubles us common folk. Why should this new abbot guard us all? I should go. Alright. Hello, Andreas. Good to see you back in town. Hello, Veronica. Have you been, pulled every which way? Mom's been a cow about when I give her grandchildren. As if I'm not doing enough work already. Shouldn't rush something as important as children. That's what I keep telling her. Maybe you should talk to her, Andreas. If it comes from someone successful as you, maybe she'll pay attention. Anyway, I should get back to work. We're all preparing for the festival. I'll leave you to it until later, Veronica. See you, Endris. Hello again, Andreas. We're about to sit down for supper. Care to join? It would be my pleasure. Truly a blessing to have everyone back together again, if only briefly. Keep an eye on that boy of yours, Andreas. See that his mind... See he minds how much he takes. Yeah, you gotta leave some food for the working folk. They ain't counting 2 extra guests tonight. Young boys eat too goddamned much. Peter, stop that. Andreas is our guest. Why don't you lead us in grace? Fine. Bless us, O Lord, in these gifts from which you hath received from your bounty. We pray again for our beloved Christine, gone now in these many years. Please help me protect my family in these difficult times. Through Christ our Lord, Amen. Amen, 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 amen. Master Andreas, why are we the only ones with bread? We're the guest, the honored guest. Everybody's got soup, but we got bread and cheese. Gertners can't afford a lot of bread, they're being polite. Andreas, it's so good to have you at our table again. And with another guest, this young man, your assistant? Casper, yes, is my apprentice. Ah, that would explain why I saw him writing in that little journal. I remember you did the same thing when you lived here. Get this bread out of the way so you can forget about it, people. You still drawing your journal, Andreas? I prefer to spend a little free time I have in the books these days. Aunt Ava said she'd teach me to read, but her book got destroyed in a flood. How nice you'll have the time. And we toil all day, and that despicable Abbe is starving us all while he sips on his sacramental fucking wine. Lay off him, Daddy. You only just got here. Yeah, come on. How have the fates been treating you these last few years? The Lord is testing us with our hard season, I'm afraid. You know, maybe learning the old ways will end up saving Ursula's life from this bronchitis she has, I guess. She can drink some weird alchemical potion. That's one way to say it. Been miserable as shit all around. Maybe you should be resting, Grandpa. If I'm gonna die, I'm gonna do it sitting up at my own goddamn table. The whole family's been ill, Andreas, Peter's father, and Ursula with an ague. And me as well. Clara lost a child in childbirth years ago now. Was the child baptized before they passed? How does... Can you get baptized before being born? He was. Agnes saw to it swiftly. Such a good woman. Child is with the Lord now, God rest his soul. Agnes tried her best to save him, but he had a deformity of the skull and didn't live long. Was he too tight? It was monstrous. Monstrous! Peter, you have cauliflower ears, bro. St. Augustine says nothing done by the will of God could be contrary to nature, ill Peter. Ah, you've seen him with the... Seen him around here anywhere? I don't think so. Tassing is no place for saints. Not even the Lord seems to look our way any longer. That's why it's time for us to take matters into our own hands. We're eating, not at the table. He's right, lady. Please, we can't not talk about this now. George here was married while you were away, Andreas. Really? To whom? To me, Andreas. So why else do you think I'm here? Of course, to make a good match. Tori has been good to me. There aren't many other people, many other options in Tassing anyways. Been a couple springs, but I'm still not used to being married. I don't remember Veronica. Was she a child when we were here before? Is she the baker's daughter? Congratulations, Jorg. I'm happy for you. Thanks, Andreas. It's been one blessing in the dark season. The children soon to come, I hope. Haha, ha. Yeah, well, I don't get it. It's probably not a good time to have kids, bro. Like, y'all can die. And you can't afford food. Forget it, Ursula. What have you been up to, Andreas? Nuremberg's miserable and paying commission when patrons are paying to be added, so it's taking ages to finish. Oh, pa. I'm not interested in tales of your charmed city life. Ursula, maybe you should excuse yourself and rest. You're sick. But Mom, I'm still hungry. Here, Ursula, you can have mine. Not fair that nobody else gets any bread besides Master Andreas and me. Stop! Ursula, give it back to him. I'm not going to have people in this town saying we can't feed our goddamn guest. Besides, we all have work to get back to, don't we? Good. Well, this was a bit of an awkward dinner. Time to get back to it, Andreas. We'll see you and your boy later. Apologies, Peter. We don't mean to say or welcome. It's alright, Andreas. He's just in a bad mood. It was lovely to see you again. Yes, and thank you for coming, Andreas. We'll be staying in St. John's Eve. Not sure yet. Alright, well, maybe we'll see you later. Till then. Ooh-wee. The Rocket Cat. I like the Rocket Cat, goddammit. House construction's going smoothly. I wonder if they'll finish before winter. Rat House was like a prison in Kingdom Come. I guess it's where the officials go, so they're gonna have like a governor in here as town's growing. Bailiff, that's who works at the Rat House. Some sort of law underneath the actual governor, like the Duke, I guess. The sin of Saul, the sin of Saul! Master, did you hear that? Sound like someone crying out. I think it's Sister Amelie. She's a mystic. She may be having one of her visions. Sister Amelie, are you alright? The Philistines, this is the hand of God. Compline, compline. Sister, something happening at Compline? It's Compline right now. No! It's Compline's at time. Sister Amelie? So something bad just happened, I take it. You're the artist, Andreas. What did you see? See, I don't remember. What did I say? Something about the sin of Saul, the Philistines, and Compline. Oh, I wish Star Thomas were here. Would you like Casper to get him? If he could, yes. His house is just around the corner. Ask her to run and get Father Thomas. Ask Master Andreas. Your son? Ernest, Captain Erzier from Salzburg. Seems eager to please you. Quite enthusiastic, yes. I have little knowledge of the workings of masters and apprentices. My world is one of spirit decoupled from the march of life and death. Bro, you're kept in this fucking dark, cold, dirty room. And you have to be going insane in here. No wonder you're seeing visions. see and hear your world turning from this little window, but they have mercifully small glimpses. Mercifully small. This cell allows me to contemplate mysteries without the noise of the outside world polluting my thoughts. Your world is the world of normal lives and normal thoughts, and can be difficult to hear the divine, much less make sense of it. I have no will to be part of that world. I strive to have no will at all, but subordinate myself to the will of God. When my will is His will, He graces me, His visions, confusing though they may be. You join your will to be intimate with Jesus as though He were your wedded husband. That is a bold thing to say, Master Mahler. Where did you hear that? I read it in a book written by an English mystic. I had to make some translation for me. I'm glad you have interest in spiritual matters, but these are not words to speak lightly, nor ideas to speak lightly of. The revelations we experience can be terrifying to us and those who witness us experiencing them. They are not dreams, but waking visions of greatest divine forces. Sorry, I didn't mean to offend you. I'm not offended, but it's difficult for us to communicate these experiences through the written word. Sister, is that hole in the ground your grave? Yes, I dug it before Father Thomas read me my funeral rites before I was enclosed here. I dig a little more in it each day. Most people find it shocking, but it's more devotion, my vocation. But this is my devotion, my vocation. Once someone finds their calling, they must answer it fully. Of course, how could we do otherwise? We all find ways to stray, by inches or feet. We all have our own course to find through this life, but we all end up in the same place. You just had to face this reality earlier than most. Your calling and questioning, Andreas, is your life. Both, I think. I've lost my love. My love for art, my love for family, my love for anything. The last 7 years have been hard. It was all too much for me. Don't lose hope, Andreas. The human heart is no small thing. It can hold so much. Augustine? Andreas, thank you for sending Casper. Seemed prudent. Are you alright, Sister Amelie? Yes, Father, I may have had another vision. Andreas said I spoke of the sin of Saul, Philistines, and Compline. What do you think it means, Father? Andreas, Casper, could you excuse us? We appreciate your help. I must tend to her now in the church. Of course, Father. Good evening. God bless you both. Master Andreas, I'm confused. What that all mean? I'm not sure, but last time I heard Sister Amelie have a vision, it was just before the Baron was murdered. What? Do you think Sister Amelie could be receiving warnings? It's possible. John received his revelation of Apocalypse on Patmos. It was a vision of Judgment Day. But then again, Saint Hildred received many wondrous visions, none of them prophetic. And Sister Amelie herself said mystical visions can be difficult to understand. I guess so. I can understand any of this. Dumb Gasparos retire for the evening. I don't know, looks like a pretty nice room, man. We got some wood floors, fancy cabinet, fresh candles, towels, cum rags, little wall scroll. St. John's Eve. Meet Illuminata at the library. Did you drop this, Casper? No, I don't think so, Master. Uh-oh. The script looks beautiful, Master Andreas. Did you write that? You were warned. Warned? What does that mean? Warned about what? It has to do with the murder that happened the last time I was here. Ow, I thought they caught the murderer. Yes, but complicated. Let's just head up to the library, Casper. Right, Master? Morning. 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 That guy looks so cool. Probably plays guitar. Andreas, back in Tassing, I see. Him to visit the Great Bar Bureau and pay my respects. Your friend didn't mind him, was a proper Christian. He was a kind man. God rest his soul. Hope God gives some peace to troubled times. Hope he gives us some peace too. I assume you're referring to Otto's speech. Won't end well. Life's getting harder for everyone, but if this shit goes on, there'll be backlash, a bloody one. Don't like the abbot coming for my fishing rights, but I'll make do. Sure, their lives are comparable to ours. I work for my wages like any man, Endris. We work, we don't complain. It's not Christian. Jesus spoke of the struggle of the meek and the poor and sided with them against the wealthy and powerful. The Lord sees us all meek and poor. I suppose. How is your family doing during these troubling times? We're fine. Agnes is fine. Brigitte and Martin are fine. Martin's become more responsible man after his return. I just wish, never mind. Raised an eyebrow. I wish Wolf hadn't died. Oh, I did hear about that. Very unfortunate. I mourned that boy all these years later. I'd hope he'd take up my mantle. I wanted to pass my knowledge and trade. Sorry, Lucky, I really am. Yeah. Perhaps Brigitte will have another while I live. She seems happy enough with Martin. I'd love to hear the patter of small feet again. A boy hold chisel and mallet. Little stonemason making his grandfather proud. Suppose that's up to Brigitte and Martin. Yeah, well, if it gets life. Enough idling now. Got things to do until later, Andreas. Till then. Oh, Andreas, how good it is to see you again, and who's this? Well, I guess this is my assistant Casper. Oh. What a hell-looking boy. And you, Andreas, you look very well. Are you back in Tassing? Yeah, I can't pay my respects. Oh, of course, I'm sure brothers are appreciated that. The last few years have been difficult for everyone. We've lost so many. Yes, I heard Burton Reed passed. Tragic. Yes, poor Claus. I hope you've stopped in and talked to him. He sent me letters. Yeah. Anyway, I won't burden you with all the tasting troubles. It's been good to see you, Andreas. Until later. Guy's wife might have a little more to say. Lucky he ain't much of a talker. Ulrich. Bless you, Andreas. God bless you, Ulrich. How have you been? Lord has been kinder to me than the peasants. These are difficulties for them, Andreas. Could use your help. My help? How? Talk to the abbot. He may respect your opinion more than the peasants. I would have hoped he could see its behavior is not Christian, but something's clouding his judgment. Not exactly Father Gernot's good graces. I doubt he'd listen to anything I had to say. We must try, Andreas. These men are fair and hard-working, but they've been pushed down for too long. They're becoming desperate, and desperate men can forget their faith and turn to violence. Won't really come to that, will it? Perhaps not, but I don't want to make that chance, and there's no need to. There's no reason why the abbot cannot come to a good and Christian accord with the people of Tassing. Maybe it's only pride that's standing in the abbot's way. I hope that your counsel and God's light can touch his heart. Do what I can, Ulrich. Thank you, and God bless you, Andreas. Huh. No, so it's not the baker's daughter. Maybe one of the shepherd's children. God bless you, Andreas. I'm thankful you returned to Tassing after so long. We prayed fondly for you after you left. Thank you, Gret. I kept Tassing in my prayers as well. It doesn't seem to have done much good. That's right, you were at Otto's speech earlier. Yes, Tassing's peasants are struggling, and now even we townsfolk are pinched by the abbot's new restrictions. I worry about my husband. He's getting too involved with the whole business. You're right to be worried. How this protest look like the start of a revolt? Oh, may God prevent such a thing from happening here. I love my husband, but sometimes I worry that they focus too intently on details. He does not see that you may both be prudent and Christian. I pray that I'm not acting selfishly, but the Abbott's taxes have affected us, so what's Anna's future? Ulrich has been offering credit in Peter for years, which I've accepted, but now we can only bake so much bread a week before we go hungry ourselves. Can you talk to him, Andreas? I spoke to him earlier. He seems set on supporting the peasants. Ah, yes, it does sound like him. I suppose I'll take it up with him over supper again. God bless you, Andreas. See, they're taking credit, but now they're, like, in debt. Yeah, they're gotta work to the point where they suffer some or take on more debt. I don't know, I can maybe work enough to suffer 1 week of the month. Helps me get ahead a little. What's this? Is that a DVD? Alistar. Salutations! You must be that wonderful artist, no? Ah, Sir Andreas Smaller, yes. Wonderful, wonderful. Ballister Inscoff at your service. Call me, Bouts, please. It's much more familiar. Pleasure, Baltus. Have you been tasting long? Oh, just a few seasons. My car broke down, and I found the place so charming I decided to stay. I enjoy the quiet, but I must say I do miss the company of other intellectuals. Usually that good Dr. Stolz and I whittle the hours away in the evenings. So naturally, when I heard a well-known artist has returned, I was beside myself. Always pleased to me like-minded individual. What do you do? I'm an inventor of sorts. Really? What do you make? All sorts of things, young man. Mechanical clocks of all sizes, metal mice that skitter about, even light without flame. Really impressive, Baltus. Thank you, Andreas. I knew a fellow artist such as yourself would appreciate my work. Ah, well, I'd best get back to it. You know how it is for us who called to the higher art. Good luck, Baltus, until later. He's probably going to be useful for whatever we're doing next. Light without flame, what would that look like? Like, this is, you know, several hundred years away from Edison. It's a light bulb. Maybe something bioluminescent, like a jar of fireflies, or some kind of paint made of their juice. Now, what's the thing that makes light? It's not phosphorus, though that is something that can explode, I think. It's like fool's gold, malachite maybe, something like that. Some shiny golden rock. It can spark really bright, and then it can like stay ignited under normal temperatures. Werner Stolz. Hello, Andreas. Wonder if I could become bailiff. Elsa. Good morning, Mistress Mullern. Good morning, Master Mauler. My husband has been talking about your arrival. Be pleased to have done so well for yourself. Fame's only brought more toil. I've been traveling almost non-stop. I pray you find some rest while you're in Tassing, then. Who's with you? Who's this young man? Casper, my apprentice. Hello, mistress. Oh, you must meet your darling Paul. He would love to meet someone his age pursuing art. It's not where Leonard can see. I'm sure we can arrange that. That would be delightful, Master Mauler. Thank you both. You're both welcome, Elsa. I must now return to my work, Master Mauler, until later. Maybe Paul's at the ruins. Outer farms. I'm looking for the shepherds. This is them. Martha. Ollie. Hello, are you Helena's daughter? I'm Martha. I'm Andreas. Nice to meet you. Alright, I'm gonna go. Jesus Christ. Andreas Mauler, never thought I'd see you back here again. Pay my respects. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know the man, but I heard others speak well of him. How have you been, Helena? Well, little Martha managed to survive since her last visit, thank God. But lately, not so well. You must know about the taxes we have to deal with. Otto is trying to make the abbot see some sense, but I'm worried he's playing with fire. Carla and Peter and the other farmers support him, but it's dangerous to provoke the Duke. Anton's still young to get mixed up in all this, but we have Martha to look after now. Sounds like the peasants can't really survive with the way things are. It's going to be a hard winter for certain. But I'd take a skinny husband over a dead one. I pray nothing happens to him. Now then, I best get back to work. Till later, Andreas. Till then. Come! Well, it sounds like I'm supposed to try and convince the abbot of something when I go to this book garage sale. So it's probably good of me to get the lay of the land from all the townsfolk. Andreas, welcome back to Tassing. Yo, that's a nice gun. What the fuck? Oh, Leonard, how's the mill? Sturdy as ever, just like me. You look well, not stuck with the Gertners this time, eh? Gertners are lovely people, Leonard. I didn't want to burn them as I'll only be here a few days. Yeah, whatever you say, you have such a curious fascination with the peasants. Probably because you don't have to deal with them as often as the rest of us. Anyway, you should come by sometime. I'm sure we'll have a lot to discuss. Good day, Andreas. Good day. Hey, what, you got business for me, bro? How much for that gun? That nickel-plated, gold-inlaid mahogany. Hello, Master Mauler. Hello, Paul. Meet Casper, my assistant. Oh, hello. Do you work with Master Mauler? Have you done real art? I guess. I've been doing sketches tasting while we're here. Took me years of patience to make what I thought was real art, Paul. Not even sure what I do now is that good. But you're a master artist. I may have earned the title, but techniques themselves take a lifetime to master. I hadn't thought about that. How's your art going? Shh. Not where Dad can hear. Oh, right. How's the art going? I've been practicing a lot more. Klaus Oven showed me a big book full of prints. He said that he used a technique called woodcutting. Have you ever done woodcutting, Master Mauler? What, you mean like burning a picture into the wood? I've seen a few of those. They're neat, but I think that, you know, the lack of color makes it get old a little fast. Like, it all just looks like wood with a thing carved into it. And I don't know. It's useful for printing, that's why he knows about it. I've spent most of my time learning the finer techniques of oil painting. I wish Dad would change his mind about art. Maybe one day, Paul, you never know. I hope so. And once he makes something beautiful, I mean, look at all the art around this house. He obviously appreciates it. Should get back to helping my dad. See you later, Master Miller. See you, Casper. Till then. A few more paintings. Not childish, but like, you know, that one on the guy riding the horse looks pretty good, actually. It's a damn fine horse. And look at that, that's one of the birds from one of the sketches, the one with the funny nose. And the rabbits, like, you know, I guess that anything higher is supposed to be stuff that he's done more recently, because, you know, he's taller. Like, all this low stuff shitty because he's a kid, but now, that's cool. Found a weird person staying here the last few times. Never actually talked much to the actual charcoal burner. Smokey. Oh, Master Mahler, you're looking well. Thank you, Smokey. How are you? I'm well enough, I guess. Vascal went his way a few years ago, which I suppose is bound to happen. I miss company. Sometimes, Mom, there's no one to keep me from my gossip. No one to tell it to either. I'm always partial to a few new tidbits of information. Do tell, Smokey. Half of the years in Tassing will be burning by the end, Master Muller. And nearly all of them in the Abbey. Oh? I did see another Imperial Rishput courier ride from the Abbey a few days ago. Brother Guy dropped the bag once. It looked heavy. The Abbey must be doing better than the Abbot is letting on. Does that happen often? Once or twice a month. Odd with what the Abbot has been saying about the Abbey struggling. Doesn't help that the Abbot has tightened restrictions so close to St. John's Eve, too. Townsfolk get up to all sorts of mischief then. Sort of mischief. I'd wager Johann and Kat will find some corner to play in again. Practically tradition at this point. Veronica and Brigida might go out for a midnight dip in the waterfalls too. They've been swimming out there for years. Now everyone's getting clever, trying to stay out from the abbot's eye. It's a formidable man. I didn't see you in Tao Commons or Otto's speech, or you standing with the peasants. All their cause doesn't really affect me, does it? I'm as worried as anyone about the soldiers rusting through here, but the new taxes and restrictions don't bother me. I understand why they're upset, but they've been doing fine out here with less than they have. Nothing will change for me if they get their way. You could still support them. I don't want to get involved. I'm fine as I am. Supporting them would be the proper Christian thing to do, I guess. But when have any of them done the Christian thing for me? The Christian way is to help without expecting anything in return. It's giving that counts. Easy for men of means to be benevolent. All I want is fairness, decency. Well, maybe if you did a Christian thing for them, they'd do you another good turn, you know? Like, someone's gotta start. I've given them my work for years, but they refuse to treat me right. They mock me for my blind faith, since I have to keep a constant eye on the kiln for days on end. I cannot go to church as often. They laugh at the way I stink. I can't help that, you know? Hence, one must be even stronger of heart to forgive them of their follies. I'm not sure I have it in me. Ah, well, enough of that. Thanks for stopping by, Master Mahler. Till later, Smokey. Till then. I don't know, I mean, I smoked wood. It's not like it smells like cigarettes or anything. I imagine he smells like jerky. Just the Bowers farm to check on still. I never really did get to talk to the old witchy woman. Andreas Mahler, hello cat. Well, would you look at that, you're back in Tassing, and look at you, you've done well for yourself, and who's this? Cats, Casper, hello, there's a posture of an artist, that's for sure. Good, strong face, though. I do. It brings you back to Tassing and Andris. I'm just passing through Nuremberg. Saw Martin. I must say I was surprised to see him. That's right, he disappeared when you were last in town. France passed a few winters ago. Then Wolf, Brigida, and I nearly lost the farm in our mines. But Martin returned shortly after, and he's proved a changed man, a good man. He saved us from destruction. And maybe me being a douche to him helped with that, you can say. Lord's blessing often arrive in a fashion mysterious to us, but they are blessings all the same. And he married his mother, or... Curious that you came in the form of a literal prodigal son. I suppose he is his. In truth, fear my trials would have broken me were it not for the care of Father Thomas. He counseled me through difficult feelings when France passed. My condolences in Fran's passing. Thank you. He was a well difficult man. I hope his pains and terrors are eased now that he's at God's side. And now that Martin has returned to us, the farm is no longer in danger, and Britta and I will hope more children soon. Times may be hard tastings right now, but God truly does answer our prayers. You and your family are well kept, keep despite everything. Thank you, Andreas. Truly good for you to see you again. Even in much of such trivial times. Don't let your cat Bill then. What, you like ran off and spent all of his stolen money and then came back after some partying? And what, is he not their actual son? What does prodigal son mean? Yeah. Prodigal son. Comes from a story, the Bible, about someone who asked their father for early inheritance and then wasted on life of pleasure. Parable is an allegory. People have given themselves a correct way of life and illustrates God's forgiveness and the joy of repentance. So it's someone who just ran off, had fun, and then changed their ways, I guess. So yeah, he is their older son. I guess his mom is his wife now by way of him being the owner, the man of the house. Yes, I could see you again after all these years. If I say, your parting words to me back were hardly kind. Were they? It's been so long, I don't remember. It was pretty rude. Oh, sorry for being such an asshole back then. Seems like you've learned a lot since then. 7 years is a long time for a young man, especially one going through what I was. What happened to you anyway? Oh, right. You know I stole some of the Baron's things. I didn't make it far with them. I tried to sell them in Waldo, and I got robbed. Serves me right, I guess. Luckily, they didn't find the coins I was carrying. The money carried me around Bavaria for another month and a half. Then I started stealing. I grew bigger and more confident over time and became a highwayman. Or a bandit? Hard to believe, I know, but yes. Anyways, it didn't last long. I eventually got scared out of it. I had a partner for the last year of my adventures. We tried to rob some Italians, and we thought Italians. And we thought they were merchants traveling under the banner of St. George. They were not. They were soldiers guarding the property of an Italian bank. My partner didn't survive the encounter. I was wounded and alone in the wilderness. I thought of my father and my mother, Brigitte. I realized I couldn't remember Wolf's face anymore. I had to come back to take up the responsibilities I'd left behind. Prodigal son of our age, truly. That's what Father Thomas said. I didn't know. I feel bad for those years I lost, for the son I lost. It's all in the past now. I just need to look forward. But a speech you gave back in the Commons, you need support, so townsfolk aren't as committed to opposing the abbot. They have less to gain and more to lose if the abbot chooses to get the Duke involved. Anyway, I have to get back to work. Good talking to you, Andreas. Alright, till later. Hello, Endris. Hello, Brigida, how are you? Ah, well, if anyone can be in Tassing right now, looks like things aren't going well for you. Mountains returned after all. Yes, the winter without him was excruciating. I lost little Wolf, and Cat was, worried, but she'd lose the farm to France died, but then Martin returned, and he's provided for us well ever since. Despite tightening restrictions, we've gotten by, I'm thankful. That's nice. I better get back to work. See you later, Andreas. Until then, I want to say I'm happy for them. They lost their freaking child and their father. The old woman ain't around. Alright, well, that took a while. A lot of greetings. I'm just gonna walk up to the church, I guess, and then we'll take a bit to talk about something from our list. Brother Guy? Andreas! Brother Guy, what are you doing out here? Father Gertner asked me to inform the townsfolk that the shrine is closed. Closed? With everything going on? Whatever for? Father Abbot has ordered that we bring the hand into the church. The pilgrims are still welcome to come and visit the relic, but it's off limits to the townsfolk. What? Why? The abbot has had enough of the peasants and townsfolk rebelling against the abbey. He is the rightful lord. The abbot has been more than generous, but will not let his 12 articles shrivel pass. The abbot refuses to leave the relic at risk of destruction. The hand of St. Maurice is the only thing keeping the abbey open. Tassing relies on St. Maurice just as much as the abbey. What about the faith of the townsfolk? And they can stop engaging in such heretical and sinful behavior. The abbot is trying to protect the relic, nothing more. I doubt that. What about the peasants' complaints? Father Abbot has done all he can. Until the peasants can see reason, the relic will remain in the church. This is ridiculous and cruel, Guy, even for the abbot. I will do my duty as my vows and my lord command me, Andreas. God bless you. Maybe we'll stop in the Covenant, but that will be it for now. So, from our list, we might be Naruto, or maybe we can do both. Okay, so Jesus, we have like the last 150 episodes of Naruto Shipuden to talk about. Let's just, I don't know, throw up the Ninja Storm page or something. Okay, so, I mentioned the great ninja tree, right? Things happened. Here's a tree. Let me pause so videos don't play. Yeah, okay. So, they go and do like a flashback. We see like the ancient shinobi world, and this like kind of changed my whole view of everything that's been going on. So apparently there were like aliens that came from the moon, and they taught humans how to use chakra and do magic. Basically, it kind of shaped the way society developed. So like in Naruto, you can see they have like electricity, but they're still kind of feudal because they're relying on magic for so many things now. And yeah, the Sage Six Path, he was like a man with horns. He's one of the moon people who stayed after dealing with their mom, who was like a crazy bitch. There used to be a lot more shinobi trees that were like harnessing people. They were like eating the chakra out of them and giving it to the moon people. But yeah, whatever. They fought the queen. The brothers split up. One stayed on the moon, the other stayed on Earth to like repent or whatever. And you know, he taught people how to do cool stuff with chakra, and you know, it was neat. Just it really changed my perspective of what was going on in the world. I thought this whole ninja thing where, you know, they were ninjas. It was like secret villages and they were doing contracts for the real civilizations, but no, not what was going on. So that was neat. But then we get back to the main conflict, and there's just betrayal after betrayal. Someone, he tried to become the Jinchuriki for like the 10-tailed beast, which is made when all of them come together. I guess that's what the Sage Six Paths originally fought. And, you know, there was like twists, like the guy who became Jinchuriki was actually wearing a suit that was a living being that was actually a thing, and that thing was a triple agent. And it ended up like resummoning the Moon Lady, and they had to fight her against some freaking space planet full of lava and shit. And went to like Venus or some bullshit. Like it was some real Dragon Ball type shit. Like it got a little unhinged. Bad guy became good guy. Other bad guy got like double crossed and triple crossed. A lot of bullshit going on. Kakashi, he was like the strongest guy because he's like the most experienced, but he was just standing there like a bitch until he's given like a literal chakra transfer from a fucking ghost, which is really weird. It's never seen anything like that happen before. Still, it was cool while it lasted. He ends up becoming the Hokage again, even though he lost his office. Like, he got it like, back, officially. And then Naruto was, like, next in line as the hero. Sasuke came back, but he's, like, a crazy prick. And, you know, that's where the big fight happens. Right? He already came back and said that he's gonna be a good guy now, and he wants to be Hokage and change things, but as soon as they resolve the thing, he's like, hey, by the way, I'm gonna kill all the old leaders because they did all this bad shit that I didn't like. Stop me if you think you can, bitch. And Naruto's like, I'm gonna stop you because I think I can, bitch. In the end, they both end up losing fucking arms. But, you know, they have like a bro hug. They like lie there bleeding out, holding hands with their blood. And they finally, like, see their memories somehow. I don't know how the fuck that worked, but, I don't know. I don't think they learned anything they didn't already know, but I guess just seeing the emotion hammered some ideas home for him, and Sasuke finally folds. And he becomes, like, the new Gonzo, basically. Gonzo. Like, the Foundation. He's, like, the dark side. The Dark Hokage, and he's off doing secret missions on his own away from the village. Well, Naruto's the local hero, and everybody loves him finally, and he gets a new arm, and grown from the cells of the first Hokage, which is fucking weird, but alright. And that's really the last you see of him. Their last, like, 100 episodes are just, like, filler. They're, like, they show a couple of missions that happen post-incident. People are grown up, they got new outfits again. It basically just, like, sets up everybody hooking up, finally. All the shipping that you've done in the past several years of watching the show. And it's all leading up to, like, preparation for Naruto and Hinata's wedding. And that's the last episode, the wedding party. You don't actually get to see the ceremony, which is, like, very anticlimactic. But, you know, alright. And the whole point was setting everybody up for Boruto, which I believe I clicked on a Boruto. Yeah. Written by a different guy, but, you know, it keeps the story going with their children, so next generation, you get to see all their parents. So I guess it was somewhat important to set them up. Naruto and Hinata actually getting together happens in a movie, not in the main show either. You just assume that it happens because who else is there really? The movie was called The Last, and I wasn't sold on it. I did watch it. Basically, everybody's finally just like, bro, she fucking loves you. Like, yeah, are you fucking stupid? And he's like, oh, wait, someone likes me? I guess we gotta get married then, because I'm a loser and I'll take whatever I can get. But really, the people on the moon, they, like, kidnap her. Apparently, the special eyes, those are all people with, like, close relation to the aliens. So the Sharingan specifically, and the Renegon, but the Byakugan was from the other brother, the one who went to the moon. So the whole Hyuga clan, they all have alien eyes, and they wanted them back to do some crazy ritual. It was weird, he, like, put on a suit made of eyeballs, and he, like, killed everyone who was on the moon. But then Naruto, like, shakes his hand, and he's like, oh, okay, I guess I'll stay on the moon and repent now. And he was trying to marry Hinata, who, like, got a sexy goth dress, but, that didn't happen, and Naruto marries her instead. Cool. I'm just not sold on them actually getting together the way they did. Also, Naruto got, like, a short hair instead of the spikies, and I didn't like it. I mean, that's all there really is to say. As a whole, I'd say it peaked at the Pain arc. Pain was in one of these, wasn't he? I don't know. Yeah, there's Pain. Yeah, it peaked at the Pain arc, when the whole village is destroyed, Naruto shows up last minute, saves the fucking day, like... And that was halfway through. I could have easily stopped there. Things get very weird and convoluted. They, like, flipped my entire perspective of the show on its head so many times. I don't not believe how Sasuke got to where he was, but it seems so misguided. He's just kind of a stupid asshole sometimes, and it ended like that. I thought their fight was a little anticlimactic. Naruto got a little too OP. I remember in the last, like, Kurama was able to fight separately from him as, like, a freaking mecha duel with another beast, and, like, that didn't even happen in the main show. When did he learn to do that? I think that's something like that happened a couple times, where people just pulled new skills out of their ass, and I guess they glossed over training arcs. Even though they went with so much filler. You know how many times I had to see the freaking Itachi Uchiha incident bullshits? Like 5 fucking times, bro. Each time it's like 10 episodes, bro. Like, there's just so much filler towards the end. Over 100 episodes in the last arc. It could have easily been 400, but no, they had to go to 5. I'm not saying it wasn't worth my time, like, I'm glad to have seen some of what I saw, but so much of it was filler, man. They have to, like, redo this. Redo it better. I heard things get very off the rails of Boruto, which, again, is a different writer, so I'm not really planning to watch that, but I got my closure, I guess. Is this one of the best things I ever watched? No, not by a long shot. I had fun, though. I don't think I'm gonna, like, demand anybody watch Naruto. But I liked it, alright? Jesus. I'd give it, like a 7 out of 10. Like, it was a good time, but I've seen much better. Much better that wastes a lot less of my time. I do still need to watch the last movie, though. I forgot about that. Kinda got distracted. And someone where Boruto was, like, introduced, finally. It's really, like, the last time you see Naruto before he kinda disappears looking for Sasuke again, or some bullshit, I don't know. Anyways, I'll talk about the other thing on our list while we're here. Sandland. This is an anime too, but I thought the game looked fun, so I chose to play the game instead. So this is an old manga from Akira Toriyama. It's from like the 90s, and they brought it back just recently and like expanded the story for the anime and the game. But basically we're looking at Mad Max with demons. Yeah, the world like went to war and desertified the world, whatever. So post-apocalypse, And we find that in such a dire situation, the demons are, like, more predictable and honest. Like, a demon embodies what it is. Like, it's greedy, it's lustful, whatever, you know? And somehow they end up being a lot more, innocent-seeming than most of the humans you encounter. So Beelzebub's whole thing is he thinks that he's the fiend prince, he's the evilest thing in the world. But he's just like a fucking child, cute little kid. He ends up doing things that are very good and saving the world, whatnot. Says that nobody's allowed to be more evil than a fiend. And that's his dad, Lucifer, king of the cosmos, basically. So he's weaker than him. I mean, that's why he's still like a kid, even though he's like 1,000 years old. Anyways, it's got like some light beat-em-up combat that you don't really have to use often. But, I'm pretty sure this trailer has the Darude Sandstorm, so I can't play that. Anyways, you spend most of your time in BattleBots. You start out with just like a Jeep, which is fast, but fighting in it kind of fucking sucks. And then you get like a Jump Bot, which is like Eggman's Walker from Sonic Adventure 2. And that one can like jump high, it's this whole thing. You use these bots to solve different puzzles. You can get like a tank, a battle bot that you can punch shit with, a hovercraft, and a bike. And there's all kinds of variants, optional variants you can get. Basically, the game starts out very slow, but once you get a few bots and you're able to vary up the gameplay, what you're doing, puzzle solving, even though puzzles are never very intense, it gets better the longer that you play it. Deeper into the game, you'll unlock more facilities at the town after you rescue survivors doing side quests. And you build out the town, make it all cool, and get new facilities. You have to like collect materials to build new parts for your bot, or you can get them like Diablo style. The deeper you get into the game, more shit becomes available. You know, you can upgrade your weapons higher. You'll find bigger varieties of weapons. You'll get, you know, it'll still be a tank cannon, but maybe this one's like a charge shot, like a railgun, or it'll fire multiple rounds instead, or it'll fire a sticky bomb with a delayed explosion. Maybe you got a rocket launcher, but this time it's multiple rocket launchers, so it's a lot more useful. Like, you know, it just kept getting better as I played, but it never really, like, peaked. I was enjoying it for the last bit I played. How much did I spend? 59 hours, almost 60 hours. I think around 40 hours, I figured out there's actually a second map, which it was a lot bigger than I thought it was, but it also wasn't as big as Sandland. As you can see, there's a forest land too, which I thought was kind of bullshit. Like, forest land is introduced into expansion of the story, which made me like kind of like, huh? I thought humans like fucked up the world. What do you mean there's a forest land? Why isn't anybody living in Sandland? But Sandland's the way it is for other reasons. I don't want to spoil that. You know, it's got like the whole Dragon Ball escalation of enemies. The threat always gets bigger and badder. There's some shitty forced stealth segments which are really annoying. Fiends don't actually kill people, because kind of like Monsters, Inc., they like live off fear. And they also steal shit, play video games all the time, but yeah, they don't want people to die because there are so few of them, so you shoot to neutralize, but you don't actually hit anyone with bullets. It's weird. And the forced stealth segments, you can get behind someone, like, spook them. But if you get caught, you just, like, have to reload. It's kind of bullshit. It's really frustrating. Thankfully, there's not too many instances where you have to do it for the story. There are bases you can sneak into and get loot, but there's... it's nothing special in the bases. You know, it's all random loot. You can get it just from fighting shit instead, so I wouldn't bother too much with sneaking. Plenty of boss fights. There's leveling up. You can get skills for your partners. There's a shot of the team here. You got Thief, who's an old man, and Anne and Rao, and they all have their own skill trees. They get abilities they can use, then you have your own abilities you can use on foot too. There are like buff items you can get. building out the town was really satisfying. It's a shame that so much of it is saved for, like, the end of the game. Like, you have a shitty little shack by the end of the original manga's story, and there's, like, a really slow build-up to the start of the second plot, the second arc. And the town is just looking kind of shit until then, but then it starts to get some really huge upgrades in the second half. I don't know. I think that you maybe have to stick with it a little too long before it becomes fun, as it were. But it's still like a very unique game, and you know, you don't get vehicle combat things very often. Again, you can usually just be in a mech whenever you go into a cave or something. You don't have to do the foot combat almost ever. And you know, there's plenty of vehicles to play with. Like if you like car combat games, like maybe you really like using the car in Borderlands, or you like Twisted Metal, give it a shot. You know, it's definitely like for someone who likes vehicles more than me, but again, vehicle combat games very rarely come out, so I thought this was a unique thing, and I really like Akira Toriyama's stuff, so just a lot of like grinding for materials. I wouldn't try to max out all your bots. I maxed out like 2 of them. There isn't like a huge enemy variety. The new vehicles start to appear as you play through the game, but like with mutants, there's like the scorpion, the raptor, some kind of tiger thing, and crocodiles. And that's about it. You find like tankier variants and recolors them all over. I don't know. I had a decent time. I'd give this like a 7, 6, 6.5, 7. Alright. 7 seems about what everybody else is saying. This was a fun time. I think that the battleships are like big confusing mazes and they're like a little too empty. There's treasure in them and you have to go through too many, but I don't know, could be worse. You don't have to go in them very often. Sometimes a side quest will take you back in and it's hard to get out, but those are really the only low point in the game for me, the fucking battleships, which there's only 3 of. And they're all a little different, at least. Could be worse. So, yeah. I would consider checking that out if it sounds interesting. Or you can watch the anime if you just like Mad Max type stuff but don't actually want to play a long car combat RPG with a lot of grinding. Which, you know, it is totally valid. I would consider just watching the anime as well. It would take a lot less of your time. Yeah. So I reckon that's all I got for you folks. I will see you later. I'm gonna try using the button instead of clicking the thing.